Should we start?
Yes.
Hi, Ashley.
Hello, Robin. Welcome back.
How are you during this quarantine?
Oh, it's day by day. Every day is a little bit different. I'm becoming more and more creative of what I'm trying to do during the day. I mean, it's just a lot of self-improvement, a lot of practicing stuff for the podcast, getting people lined up. We have 3 recordings we're doing this week. So
It's
exciting.
It is super exciting.
Yeah. What about you?
My routine really hasn't changed. I still work 5 days a week and try to still do grocery shopping and laundry and cleaning the house and doing the yard work. So my life really hasn't changed whatsoever.
You've been doing a really good job of balancing them, though.
I've been trying. Definitely been trying. What I do find interesting is Ashley shared with me some statistics from our listeners.
I know you love statistics.
I do love statistics. The last time we talked, we had listeners from Virginia in the United States, and whoop, whoop, we want to give a good shout out to our Virginia listeners. The other thing that we found, Ashley and I were so excited, was that we had some listeners from Norway.
They've popped up out of nowhere. I mean, there's several of them. So, hi, Norway listeners or Norwegian listeners.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to us.
So we have been worldwide, and now we actually have the statistics to prove that we are worldwide. And our guest today is also worldwide, and I would love to present Shelby Delong.
Welcome.
Hello. How are you guys doing?
We're good. We're good.
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, doing as best as we can during this.
Yeah.
So, Shelby Delong, I've known you for a couple of years now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a few years, and kind of seen you grow up. So, Shelby is a singer-songwriter, correct?
Yes.
I would consider you that.
Yeah.
And she makes amazing, what would you say, pop-style music?
Yeah, it's like pop Christian genre. Yeah.
Yes.
It's like the Christian, they're like, what? This is Christian? Kind of thing. Yeah.
I would say it's very positive. I mean, it has the Christian underlie, but it's positive, and I think anyone could listen to it. But it's been really cool to hear it, and your dad has sent me, every time you have a new song, your dad sends it to me. And it's really cool because I feel like I've seen every different little song and every rendition, and it's been really interesting. So I don't know if you kind of want to talk about how you got started in that, and if it's something you've always wanted to do or something recent. Just kind of tell us where this passion came from.
Yeah, so I have been singing my whole life, literally ever since I've been a little kid. It's been part of my life ever since I can remember, and I think what initially sparked my interest in music the most was when I started watching American Idol. I was like a little kid. I was on the couch, and I just remember seeing people on the stage like fascinated, and I just thought, this is what I want to do. But as far as knowing when I wanted to be like in music, I don't think I really had a specific moment or anything like that. It was more of just like a gut feeling, like a calling, I guess. I guess God just kind of was like, hey, you're going to do music and you got to be okay with that. And I totally am. So I've just never really thought of anything other than pursuing music. And it's just been a big part of my life. And especially with living in Nashville, it's literally everywhere, like Music City. It's a big part of my life. And in the fall, hopefully in the fall, I'll be attending college for music. So in Nashville too. So it's been with me. It's grown up with me,
Where did you decide to go for school?
So I am going to be attending Trevecca University.
Exciting.
I also was considering Belmont because obvious reasons. But then I was like, your girl's got a budget, so I think I might do the best of both worlds and transfer halfway, and we'll see how that goes.
It'll be fun too to get a little bit of experience at each.
Yeah, absolutely.
And again, you say it's in Music City, so I mean you've got tons of opportunities.
Exactly.
So when obviously you've always had this gut feeling. So in order, I mean, you obviously have the talent for it. We'll link some of the music to the to our social media pages, but you have the talent for it. Did you start really young, being in like plays or in church choir, or when did you actually start singing like in front of audiences?
Yeah, so I have taken vocal lessons ever since I can remember and always had, music recitals as a little kid. But then in middle school, I started choir, and that was really fun. And I just remember my teacher kind of favoriting me, and I was like, oh, maybe I have something here. I don't know. And then I would do performances as I grew up, and so last year I even performed at the Ryman Auditorium. That was literally a blast. That was dream come true right there. And yeah, it's just been more and more performances as I've been growing up, and I had a gig at a smoothie place recently, or I guess a while ago, and that was really fun. And so it's just been a whole journey trying to figure out like performances on top of writing and school and like everything.
I'm really interested in the songwriting piece, and a part of it is because of the show Songland that's on TV right now.
Yes, I love that show.
I,
Yeah.
I watched it the other day, and I just wonder, when did you start writing? Was it, I mean, I'm guessing it was maybe middle school, high school, and then what influenced you to write? Was it poetry? Was it a certain book? Or did it just come to you naturally?
Okay, this is a perfect question for me because I have so many answers. So I think it just comes to me naturally, honestly, which is so weird. Like, I'll literally be in class or in the car and just have a song idea out of nowhere, and I'm like, gotta record this. I'm like, I gotta get out of class, like, and I'll be writing lyrics in math class. Like, it's a whole thing. Yeah, so as far as that, it definitely comes naturally. But as far as when I started, I have been songwriting literally as long as I can remember, again, and which is so weird. It just comes naturally. And I think the first time I remember songwriting, which is like a big moment for me as a little kid, I was at a summer camp, and one of my friends was like, oh my gosh, do you want to write a song together? And we literally stayed up all night writing a song, and it was so cute, and we performed it for the whole camp, and it was the whole thing, and that melted my heart. That was something that I was just like, it was so fun as a little kid. And so something to experience like that really early on really helped develop my interest and my passion for music. So yeah, and I've been really inspired by different artists. Like you said, you're like, is it poetry? Is it this? It's definitely listening to music. I listen to music 24/7, all the time. And so some of my like favorite music that has inspired me is any artist or song that is just authentic, anyone that is just real and honest. So for me, I just want to be able to write songs that other people can relate to or be inspired by or get hope from. And so when I hear music that does that for me, I'm like, whoa. And so that really, really inspires me. So recently I've really been into Tori Kelly and Lauren Daigle, Maggie Rogers, people like them that are super influential because they're just unapologetically themselves when it comes to their music and their artistry, and I really respect that.
That is so cool. So here, this kind of relates. I play guitar too, but I've never been a good songwriter, and that's the thing. Is like but I recognize that in myself. I can play a lot of music, but I don't songwrite. And this is the problem that I had. Is so when you do write a song, do you come up with the melody first or the lyrics?
Yeah. So typically, when it comes in my head, it's a melody, and sometimes I don't even know how to explain it. It's like words that relate on top of the melody. So sometimes it's half gibberish, and half times it's like lyrics that may actually fit. And so I kind of will have to piece the melody and the lyrics that I like and then go over on top, and then I do the lyrics, and then I'll do the chords. That's typically how it goes for me. And I even start with the chorus of this song, which is where the hook and the catchy part comes from. That's typically where like I start writing a song, which is so weird to people because some people might think, oh, I would just start at the beginning and then just finish at the end. But I don't know, my brain is just not function that way, you know?
I think sometimes it kind of builds the whole song. If you have the hook, you got the big part, so.
Absolutely, yeah. And I typically get the title before I finish the song too, which is
nice.
Cool. Yeah, it's so weird, my process.
No, it's really cool. It's very interesting because I think songwriting is really hard, in my opinion. Like, I think I mean, there's just something to be said about a song that just like cuts you at your core. Because I was like you when I was in high school, and I just loved music, and like there's just something to be said for someone who can create a song that makes you cry immediately.
Yeah.
And that's incredible that you have the ability to do that. You know? I mean, you have very positive and happy songs.
Yeah.
People are crying at them, but I'm just saying, like, you have the ability to change someone's emotional state just with words and music, which is so cool. I think
it is. When we were preparing for this, I was talking with Shelby's dad, and he sent me Can't Imagine. As soon as I started playing that clip, I'm like, Matt, we need to get her on because this music needs to get out there. It was like a good beat. It made me energized right away. Awesome. I loved the lyrics. I do like Christian music. Yeah. And again, I wouldn't have thought that this was Christian either.
Exactly.
And then you start to listen, it's like, this has such a fantastic message. And then Matt sent me something else too. I can't remember what it was, but I think it was when you were doing your video, or maybe it was on Facebook. Anyway, that was awesome. Tell us about shooting a video. That seemed so cool.
Yeah, that was the whole thing. It's still in the process now. Basically, for my second song that I released called Not On Your Own, we decided, because I got on a Spotify playlist, and it has like it's up there. It has like 16,000 views or streams, whatever, something like that. And I'm like, whoa, didn't expect this, okay? Because I don't know, I'm just in a high school in the middle of nowhere, so I don't really expect these things. And so my dad was like, we should do a music video. And so we had to outline the whole video from second by second and like a document, and it took so much time. And one of my friends is a dancer, and so I got her involved, and she choreographed dance for some of her friends, and we like had them come in, and it was so much fun, and I definitely wouldn't trade it for anything. But it's like I'm learning to trust the process, because with everything that's going on, like we filmed this late last year, and then when we got the final cut back, it was just, I don't know how to describe it. I was like, I don't know if I'm happy with this, And so I kind of felt like I needed to take things into my own hands, because I don't know, I just know what I want. And
it's important.
And so with school going on, it was kind of hard to find time to edit the music video. So with the coronacation that I'm currently in, I have more time to do that, and so hopefully that'll be out. But yeah, it's just been a whole frustrating process, but it'll be okay.
What has been your experience? Oh, sorry. Do you want to go ahead, Robin?
I was just going to say, I thought it looked great, the little snippet that I saw. But if you want to make it different than what you're doing, I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
How has it been? What has the experience been being more than just a songwriter? Because I mean, I think it's important for our listeners to know that you can have a passion in everything, but there's a whole other business side of it. So when you do have a passion and you want to get it out there, you have to create things like websites and do editing, especially if you're new.
Yeah.
How have you learned to like balance that? Do you ask for help in that realm? You were talking earlier about how you had a website that could track, because you said you also had listeners internationally. So
yeah,
how has that experience been?
Yeah, I have listeners from like Amsterdam and Switzerland. It's crazy to see the statistics. I'm like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is where my dad comes in. He has been like my manager. I guess, I don't know. I'm just doing this by myself at this point. I'm like, I'm not in it for like fame or anything. So I'm just doing it for fun and because I feel like God's like, yo, make some music. And so, yeah, with everything that happened before the whole Corona thing with like school and I was in musicals and homework and all of this, my dad really helped me and he was very supportive. He's been supportive 100% throughout everything. And he's the one who helps get the ball rolling on things because I don't know, it's hard for me to remember things sometimes. And so he'll help and be the manager that I need sometimes. And so with a website, that was all his idea and things like that. And so anytime that like I meet someone new, like you, Ashley, like it's all from him. It's like I would not be here if it wasn't for him, obviously, but like in my career state without his support and his help and everything.
But the cool thing is too, you're also learning so that eventually, you know, it's great to have a manager too that has your best interest at heart because I think sometimes managers may not have that. I mean, there's quite a few out there in the music industry that I think take a little bit more than they actually should. But it's great to have someone that, you know, loves you and has your best interest. But then also he's teaching you things, I'm sure, during this, which is important because, you know, one day you will be an adult and he'll still be able to help you, obviously. But it's like, it's cool to know the backstory and like how everything works. But that's so fun. I think it's really cool to be international.
Like, it's a little crazy working with family sometimes, but it's good. It's better, right. Probably,
yeah.
Did you always grow up in Nashville or did you move to Nashville for your career?
So I have always lived in Nashville. That is something that I'm very blessed because
not normal.
Music City and I'm a musician. Wow, best of both worlds. And so, yeah, I've been born and raised here. I live just outside of Nashville, like 30 minutes from the city, and I love it. And I could not choose anywhere else to live.
So I don't remember. This was probably a few months ago, a year ago, maybe. So when you do have a passion, it's important, you know, for our listeners that you nurture it. I mean, we all have learning to do. And I think it was your dad who told me that you went to like a summer camp or something where you learned to songwrite. Was that it? Was it with, what's his name? Toby Mac? It was like Toby Mac.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you explain a little bit about that and how that has helped you? I mean, I think it did, right?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Who's Toby
Mac?
Mac?
The movie Camp Rock. I don't know if you have.
I love that movie, by the way.
It is like that in real life.
Toby Mac is a sorry, 1 second. Toby Mac, to answer your question, is a Christian rapper. Yeah.
Yeah, and
maybe
I wouldn't say rapper. He's just a Christian musician.
Okay. Anyways, repeat what you're saying about Camp Rock.
Yeah. So Camp Electric is literally Camp Rock in real life, and it's funny enough because it's at Trevecca where I'm going, and so yeah, they have mentors that have been in the industry for so long, working with other artists that mentor you on specific things. So we had a vocal coach who coached Mandisa come in, and he taught all of us some skill. And we had a background singer for this artist come in and teach us. And like, it was just so fun to see people in a position that you want to be teaching you. Like, thank you, hello, you know. And so there's also performances every night by some of artists that we've all listened to, and it's just literally the environment that I want to live in for the rest of my life. People that are dedicated to music, and then people that love music just as much as I do. It's so much fun.
It's important to be surrounded by people who support your dream as well, because it's just, I think it springboards you, and when you're with people who are just stagnant. I mean, you can do your own thing, but to be around people that are actively doing what you want to do, and you're also networking is so important in the music industry, I would say. Yeah. So I mean, these are people that you're probably going to see on stage, and they'll see you on stage, and they may not know someone down the road that can help you. Or, I mean, so do you think that you'll ever eventually be managed by someone else, or what is your goal like with all this?
Yeah. So my goal with music is not, I don't make music solely for me, because I don't feel like I've been called to do music. I feel like God is calling me to do music. So he's like, hey, do this so that his message can get out. So I don't look for fame. I don't go about it that way. I don't think, oh, I need a manager. And then this, like, I just think it's going to happen when it happens, you know?
Right.
But I think that's the beauty of the industry, is that it can help reach other people, which is my goal, to help reach other people so that they can get a good message from my music.
I think timing is everything. Ashley and I talk about that too. When we start new hobbies or we pick up old hobbies, Ashley just started playing guitar again recently, and it's all about timing and where you're at and what the circumstances are. So I think you're right. I think it is all about timing, and the networking is crazy important. In one day you'll wake up and the next hour something magical will happen, and it's just crazy.
Yeah.
It is weird how things fall into place. I mean, I don't know if it's like for you guys too. It's like I feel like the thing that I need at that exact moment always happens. It's very weird, and that's why it is so important to like trust the process and not be I think it's important to have goals and stuff, but also not to be too hard on yourself either, like to just take every day that day.
Yeah, that has definitely been one of my biggest struggles throughout this whole thing.
How so?
Okay, so I tend to get in the way of myself and think bad about myself, you know? I mean, everyone does. They're hard on themselves. And so when I let myself get in the way, things don't go my way, you know? I'm just like frustrated and this and that. So, like with how you're asking about the whole process of my songwriting, like my first song, Almost There, that took about, I think a little less than a year from start to finish.
Wow.
And it was really hard trying to be patient throughout it all. But, you know, you have to trust the process. Just because we had to, my dad's friend's son, you know, again, my dad plays in here a lot. He does music production, and he's also going to Tribeca, and he helped me with the production on the song. And about like a month or two in, because I had to see him like once a week because he had school and I had school, and so from start to finish on the production of it, it took like several months, and then on top of that we had to do vocals and then cover art, and it's just a whole process that it's crazy. It's, you have to learn to trust what's going on.
Especially when there's other people involved. It can, I know, especially, it's one thing too where there's been times where I'm like working on a project and someone else is involved, and like I'm trying to like rush them, but I also have to realize that they're doing their own process, and it's like it will get done. It will all get done, and we'll be fine, and it'll probably be better for it than rushing it. And that's why your music's so good, you know, because you took your time and you didn't rush the process, and you made it perfect. Like you said, you 100% excited about the music video, but now you're working, you know, or you weren't, then you worked on it, you know?
Yeah. Quality over quantity.
Exactly. Because your listeners will be able to tell, I believe, but they'll appreciate you for it.
Yeah.
So where's the next place that you want to perform besides in college?
Oh my gosh. I don't even know. I've not really even thought about this.
What is
honestly,
that's in New York?
Yeah, I don't even know. Just, and maybe here's a better question: who I'd want to perform in front of?
Oh, there you go. How about that?
I don't know. I think just someone that can help with this whole journey and like kickstart opportunities. I think that would be awesome. A thing that's kind of hard for me is not being like 21, so I can't like perform in bars because that would be weird. And I also don't play guitar, I play piano, so carrying that around would be also extra hard. So it's just different for a Christian young girl who plays piano to do gigs in Nashville area when everything that does gigs is a bar. So I don't really know. Yeah, that's so, I've not really thought about that question.
Have you tried to learn guitar, or do you when you play, someone else plays it for you?
So I tried guitar a long time ago when I was really little, and my hands don't coordinate like that. You know, I don't know. People can play piano and guitar at the same time, but I don't know. My hands don't do that. But I also play ukulele, so I mean,
that's close.
Yeah, it's a start.
That's so funny though, because I play guitar and I can't coordinate my fingers to do piano for the life of me. Like I cannot. I've always thought piano players have one of the most beautiful instruments. I bought a synthesizer at one point and I tried to learn and I'm like, I can't, so I sold it because piano is just so beautiful in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's one of those instruments that if you learn piano first, you can learn any instrument easier as long as your fingers can coordinate on it, I guess.
Right. I mean, it makes sense. Piano is like, it's all in one line, and guitar, you're moving your fingers up, and it's so fun. You know, because it's so important, though. You can get a guitar player, you know.
Yeah.
As your career progresses, are you thinking of doing singing behind the piano, or would you eventually give up the piano and just be in the front singing?
Honestly, I would love to just do all of it, best of both worlds, because it's a lot harder to sing with the piano. So it's nice if I have a fun song that I want to dance and get people excited about without me playing the piano. So that would be, I guess, half of it. But then also if, you know, I write like a worshipy or a more ballad kind of song, then it would make sense for me to perform in front of the piano. I would love to perform in front of the piano, but I write songs that are just really fun. So I don't know. It's weird to play on the piano and sing a fun song and not get out of your seat. So
that was going to be my next question, is how comfortable are you dancing? Because most pop stars, I would say, don't end up playing like the guitar. Oh, sorry, that's my fluffy thing. They don't end up playing the guitar. They end up like doing all these dance moves, and I'm just watching it on how they can sing and dance. So are you a good dancer then? I
don't know. I
bet you are.
I just do what I can. It's something that I'm like, something I will learn in time. It's
I saw part of the video. Right now. I saw part of the video. You're a good dancer.
Thank you.
Well, you have to be like your own like hype machine. I mean, you're getting the audience off their feet and getting them excited, and it's like a whole performance. I mean, that's what all the performances are about now anyways, is that it's this experience, and you have to be like jumping up and down, which is crazy. Musicians and artists don't get enough credit for what they do.
Yeah.
Not easy.
And like, as someone who's been in the audience of so many musicians, I love that experience and feeling that I want to get out of my seat, jump and dance and, you know, sing along rather than sitting there and crying. So that is kind of more so why I write the happier songs anyways.
Yeah.
So.
I like those. You go ahead, Ashley.
Oh, no, it's okay. I can ask at the end. It's just a fun question.
Okay. I've got a really interesting question, or I think it's super interesting. We've talked about your songwriting. We've talked about the show Songland. How many songs are completely written, and how many songs do you have that are still in the process?
Okay, so I have probably like a handful, probably like 7 or 8 songs that are like completely done. But when it comes to songs in the process, probably like 40, like because I'm so OCD and perfectionist that I can't, and I get in the way of myself, and I can't like get myself to finish the song because I'm like getting in the way, or because I just can't think in the moment, or literally so many things. I have so many songs in the process, and good thing we're on a break from life right now, so I guess I have more time to work on those. But I guess the ones that I've released are some of my favorites throughout the years. Can't Imagine is my favorite so far, but
mine too. Yeah. I like it.
So do you get inspiration like in spurts then? So is it like you let's say you have song number 1 and then you put it away and then like 3 months later you get inspiration on it again, or?
Yeah, literally what happened with Almost There, my first song, was I think we were on a road trip and I was going through my voice memos and I was like trying to write a song, and I found one from like a year ago and it was just the hook of the song. It was just the hook by itself, and I was like, here we go. I guess we're going to start with this. Yeah. So like one piece of the song can start another, like can start an inspiration for the rest of the song, and I can probably finish it like in a year. It's weird. It just, yeah, I guess in spurts. It's interesting.
Yeah, whatever works though. I mean. Mm-hmm. So who's your favorite person you've ever seen in concert then?
Okay, there's this band called Laney that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I love them.
Yes. That concert, oh my gosh, that was the best because.
Did they come here?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he said a story about how he used to live here, and I think he went to Belmont or something like that, and that melted me. But just because they were just so into the crowd and the audience and their music, like you could tell that they loved their music as much as the audience did. Mm-hmm. And literally the lead singer got an audience and he started dancing with us, and it was so much fun. It was like we were all together. It was like it didn't even feel real. That's the kind of thing that inspires me, you know. Yeah.
It's funny that you say that because I actually just watched an interview. This was like 4 months ago, and it was the lead singer was answering all these questions, and I thought to myself, I was like, this guy seems like he is so kind. Like he just seems like a really genuine person. And you know, sometimes you see these guys and they seem a little bit like, I don't know, conceited or something, but I'm like, this guy looks like someone I would be friends with. And he was so happy and positive. So it's funny that they, not only when people are watching, you know, I mean, people are watching on an interview, but they're like that at a concert too, which is super cool because I think you have the ability to do that too. You know?
Yeah. And like, you don't need backup dancers and background singers and all this to have a good performance, you know? You really just need your songs and an audience. I mean, that's really all you need. And so he just took that to the next level for sure.
That's so exciting. I love that.
If you were to do a duet with somebody, who would you want it to be with?
Oh my goodness. Wow, you're hitting me with a hard one. I think Lauren Daigle, because I've gotten several times, I've heard that I sound like her. I mean, I think she's a great artist, so thank you for the compliment, you know, but I actually saw her at the Ryman Auditorium last year. And I was at a Q&A before the show, and I asked to sing with her. You know, I had to yeah, that was very nerve-wracking right there. Mm-hmm. And so we sang a little bit, and that, I mean, I kind of already have.
Wow. That is so cool.
Yeah. And afterwards, people at the Q&A were coming up to me and like, were you the one singing with Lauren Daigle? And I was like, I was. Oh my gosh. It was so funny how many people were like, you sound like Lauren Daigle. And so that's where I have heard that I sound like her the most.
That would be really cool. Because you could like...
Do you have to warm up your voice, or could you just start singing now? Because I am very non-musical. I can play a recorder maybe. I did play alto sax in grade school, but that was about it. But they always say that singers have to warm up their voices. Is that really true?
Yes. I guess it really depends on the day, because sometimes my voice will like not be working, or sometimes like I just have more voice cracks than normal, or this and that. It really, really depends on the day and how much I've been talking and singing. But typically, yeah, it really helps because it's like an exercise for your voice. Like, you don't just go exercise and not stretch, you know? It's like you...
Well, some of us do.
Yeah.
Robin!
I know.
Make you stretch.
It's like the pre-workout. Like, singing is like, you know, the workout, but you gotta exercise a little. I don't know. You know what I mean?
How long does that take?
Huh?
How long does that take typically? Like 10 minutes. I feel like it's
it depends on the day. Sometimes when my voice is not cooperating, it really takes like almost an hour. Sometimes before I had my college audition for Tribeca, that took like, oh my gosh, several hours. Yeah, I had to make sure I was perfect as possible. It was crazy. Yeah, but sometimes my voice is good. Sometimes it really depends on the day.
So do you sing your own songs or do you sing other people's songs or both?
Yeah, I love singing covers just because there are some songs that really just get me. I'm like, okay, I gotta show my voice like as my authentic self, you know, because I want to sing songs that I can feel, you know. So whenever I hear songs like that, I love to do covers because I just get it.
Can you give us some of your favorite ones?
There's a new
go-tos?
song by Madison Beer called Selfish that I really, really like. It just melts my heart. It's a ballad, like, weird enough. And I really like Lauren Daigle's song, Still Rolling Stones. That's been fun. And a bunch of Tori Kelly songs, even though it's impossible for me to sing her because I'm an alto and she has the range for days. So it's kind of hard to sing her, but I still love her.
The whole music world just amazes me. And nothing is ever simple. There's always a million little procedures and things that go into what you think would be the simplest thing, but nothing is really truly simple. There's always so much practice, preparation, coordination, and then actually acting on it.
Mm-hmm. And like some artists, like before their tour, have to spend months at a time rehearsing and practicing, and that is a whole ordeal in itself that I would love to experience at some point in my life.
Well, and too, like some of them are producing albums in like 4 months. Like they have like this little section where they don't have a tour and they're producing full albums. And I know they probably have songs that they've been working on, but it's nonstop. I mean, constantly doing something. That's why it's just amazing to me. Do you think ever in the future, like let's say you do your tour and let's say you get really big and you go do it for, I don't know, like 8 years, do you think you would still continue songwriting and selling those songs and using those songs
Absolutely.
for artists?
Absolutely. Because it just doesn't stop. Like even like it doesn't I don't get to choose when I get a song idea, you know? So I guess it really depends on how long I feel that inspiration coming to me. Yeah, I guess.
Ashley, you brought up a really interesting thing that, of course, I thought of another question.
It just hit me with all of them.
So let's say that you write a song. How does the process work for you to sell your song, but that you didn't perform it?
So I'm not too familiar with selling it, but typically people that get songs from other people, they have people come in for them and pitch songs to them, kind of like Songland, and they kind of just choose their favorite ones. Sometimes they'll pick it apart, sometimes they'll keep it as it is, but typically that's how that works. I have songs that I definitely think would be better on some artists, but I don't know. I just haven't thought about selling them really. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with that realm, but yeah.
You will be. I mean, that's just takes time.
Yeah.
For right now, you need them for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that would be amazing to hear your song that you wrote sung by another artist on the radio. I mean, or performed at the Grand Ole Opry or the Ryman. I think that would be something that you would really be so proud of.
Yeah, exactly why I love Songland, because that is just so cool to me. I'm like, oh my gosh, look at them. Like free pass into that right there.
Apparently I need to watch the show. Where is it on? I've never heard of this before.
I don't know what channel it is or what night it's on, but every time I watch it now, Shelby, I am totally going to think of you.
Oh my gosh. I have thought about going on there, but I'm just like, I don't know. Because I don't know what artist I would, there are so many artists that they choose at a time. And I feel like it would be easier for me to write a song for a specific artist than writing a song and having the artist choose.
I gotcha.
I thought this was like a show that, like Nashville. I thought it was not a reality show. This is like a real show.
Yeah.
An Idol. Okay, cool.
It is. I guess it's like a laid-back American Idol for songwriters.
NBC, okay.
NBC, okay. That's what I was thinking.
Monday at 9 p.m. Okay. All right. Yeah. Adam, okay. Look at all these people. Okay, I'm gonna watch these because that's really crazy. That's such a cool thing to talk about though, because each artist does have their own kind of like niche or like style that they do, and that would be really hard to nail it. Although there were songs that, like when I grew up playing music and trying to write songs, I was like very into Paramore when I was in high school, and I was like, I'm gonna be the next Paramore because I played guitar. But all the songs that I would write were like country sounding, and I was like, I like rock music, like I don't get it. So that's why I was like, I can't be although I should have sold them or something, because some of them were pretty good. I'm just like, I just didn't like country music. And so
well, maybe Blake Shelton would have liked them.
Maybe, yeah, like who knows? I don't know. They were not Blake Shelton stuff. It was like rock lyrics with country sounding music, and I'm like, I don't get this. And it made me mad. That's
why I can't fathom getting into the guitar, because I feel like every song I'd write would just sound country, and I would no.
Yeah, it's just because that's how it is, like an acoustic guitar. It gets better. When I got an electric, they started sounding more rock, but at that point I was like, I think you are a songwriter or not sometimes. Like I think like for you it's intuitive, for me it wasn't. Like I had to try really hard, and I probably wrote 3 songs that I was actually happy with. But it was clear that wasn't my calling. It was like a hobby of mine, but it wasn't what I was meant to do with my life. And I'm okay with that, Yeah.
But
I think it's amazing that that's what you're called to do, because you're going to do amazing with it.
I think it's super amazing that she's called to do it, and she knows that she was called to do it.
Yes.
Like that's what I find really magical, is that you knew you were called, and it was something that really came natural, and you were able just to move right into it. And I can't wait for your next song.
Thank you.
A super fan now.
I know, I am. And I stalked Shelby. There's a theme with the podcast. I stalk all of our
You stalk all of our people.
I do. And so now I am following you on Amazon Music.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. I love it.
Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast, Shelby. You are officially our youngest interviewee, which is really exciting.
Wow. What an honor. Thank you so much.
Accepting an awesome. What is the music one?
Grammy.
Grammy. Okay, you're accepting your Grammy. It's very important if you're on our podcast. You don't have any cool awards, but it is very neat. But we're looking forward to. We'll post before we go. We'll post some of your music. But where can our listeners find you?
Any streaming platform that you think of: Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, all of the above. You can listen to my music, and my artist name is Shelby Grace.
Perfect. And then, are you on Facebook, Instagram?
Yes, all of the above. My handles are It's Shelby Grace Music.
Cool. Perfect. Well, thank you for being on, and we'll keep in touch. I mean, when you do your Lauren Daigle duet one day, I'll be back on.
Yeah, law of attraction. I'm going to put that in the universe, and that'll happen.
Law of attraction. There you go. Well, to our listeners, we will see you soon, but until next time, stay awesome.
And keep reaching for your anything.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
I Can Do Anything podcast is written and produced by Robin Steckle and Ashley Allen. Our music comes from hooksounds.com. I Can Do Anything is a Jolly Bluebird production.